let us see the graphical analysis, load line and small signal parameters in this class. Let us take the circuit of the NMOS common source amplifier circuit. So here we are applying the two signals. One is AC signal Vi, which is called as a time varying voltage source in series with the DC source VGSQ. Okay, where VGSQ is a DC source and Vi is the AC source. We are going to apply the two signals to our common source NMOS circuit, and here the VGS is the input voltage, which is a combination of these DC source as well as the AC source, AC signal plus DC signal, and ID is the drain current and RD is the drain resistance, and we are going to take output across the drain. Therefore the voltage across drain to source, which means the drain to ground VDS, that will be the output voltage of this circuit. So if you see the DC load line, so which was drawn on the output characteristics of this one, so VDS is the output voltage of this CS amplifier and ID is the drain current, okay, which means that output current. So this is the graph drawn between the output voltage to output current, so it is called as output characteristics curve. So load line is going to draw on these output characteristics. On the DC load line we are going to set the Q point. Okay, this Q point can be set by using the VDSQ, the DC output voltage, and IDQ, which is the DC output current, IDQ. Okay, so here IDQ in the sense the Q point values, which means that the pure DC values are DC components. Okay, so here the DC load line, the Q points are the functions of VGS, VDD and RD. Q point is a function of VGS, gate to source voltage, and the VDD, the drain supply voltage VDD, as well as the drain resistance RD. Based on these, that transistor, the Q point will be operated. Okay, so here if you see, this is the Q point. Okay, so here on the DC line VGSQ, which means gate to source DC reference line, on this we are going to apply the AC voltage Vi. Okay, this AC signal V is operating on this DC reference line VGSQ. Okay, so when we apply the VGSQ, we are getting the instantaneous ID current, so which has the reference of IDQ, where IDQ is a DC output current IDQ. On this IDQ line we are getting the output AC current ID, and when we have the output current, that will develop a voltage across RD, so that is on the reference line of VDSQ, where VDSQ is the DC output voltage, the DC output voltage when no input signal is applied. Okay, on this DC output reference line we are getting the amplified version of the input AC signal. Okay, so like this is the output voltage, and this one is the output current, and this one is the input signal. For output voltage to be linear function of input voltage, the transistor must be biased in the saturation region. In order to get output is a linear function of input, then we have to use the transistor in the saturation region only. So the instantaneous gate to source voltage will be given as the VGS. Okay, the VGS is equal to VGSQ plus Vi. Here the VGS is a combination of DC component as well as the AC component. Okay, so here if you see, VGS is equal to VGSQ plus small VGS. So Vi can be given as, here what is Vi? Vi is nothing but a AC signal that will develop AC voltage VGS. Okay, so here VGS, the gate to source voltage, is a composition of DC component plus AC component. okay, where Vsq is the DC component and V small gs is the AC component. Okay, therefore the instantaneous drain current is given as ID is equal to Kn into Vgs minus Vtn whole square. This is the equation for the saturation region drain current ID, which is Kn for the n channel MOSFET into Vgs minus Vtn whole square. Okay, now we are going to substitute the equation number 1 in the equation number 2. So on the place of VGS, okay, this VGS equation number 1 is going to be substituted on this VGS place. Okay, therefore we can get the ID value as ID is equal to Kn into VGSQ plus VGS minus Vtn whole square. Okay, that VGS is replaced with the DC component plus AC component. So now I am going to separate the DC components and AC components in the above equation. Here VGSQ is the DC voltage and Vtn threshold voltage is also a DC component. Therefore I am just combining the DC component, okay, separating the DC component and the AC component like this. So in this one, this is looking like A plus B whole square. Okay, A plus B whole square. Expanding the above term, ID is equal to Kn into A square plus 2AB plus B square. Like this we are expanding that. Okay, so here Kn into VGSQ minus Vtn whole square plus 2 into Kn into VGSQ minus Vtn into VGS plus Kn into V square Gs is the equation. So it contains the three terms. The term 1 in the equation number 3 is a DC quiescent drain current IDQ. This entire term will be equal to the IDQ. How it will be IDQ? Because the Kn is a conductance parameter, okay, that is into voltage, which will gives you the current. Okay, so Kn into VGSQ minus Vtn whole square, that is the drain current IDQ. If you see, the second term is a time varying drain current component that is linearly related to the signal VGS. So here these DC component up to here, it is the DC component which is the 2 Kn into VGSQ minus Vtn is a DC component that is multiplying with some AC component VGS, so which will gives you the time varying drain current component, okay, which means that time varying DC current ID. And the third component, if you see, which is proportional to the square of the signal voltage. So here VGS, no, that VGS square into this Kn. Okay, so when we have this DC component and AC component, we don't have any problem, but we have the problem with the third component, which is the square of the signal voltage, because for the sinusoidal input signal, the squared term will produce the undesirable harmonics or non-linear distortion will be developed with the sinusoidal input signal with that squared term. Okay, therefore in the output voltage we have to minimize the harmonics, okay, in order to eliminate the distortion and harmonics. Third term we have to minimize. That's why the VGS should take very much less than the 2 into VGSQ minus Vtn. The AC input signal must be taken very much less than 2 into VGSQ minus Vtn value. So that what will happen, we can neglect the VGS squared term in the above equation, where the drain current ID is a combination of a DC component plus AC component, so that we can separate the above equation what we have seen here. Okay, so this equation 3 can be splitted into the DC equation plus AC equation. That can be done like see, the total current can be separated into the DC component and AC component like this. Therefore the AC component alone for the drain current, AC drain current, can be given as small id, which is a pure AC drain current, that is equal to the 2 into Kn into VGSQ minus VTN into VGS. Therefore, the transconductance parameter Gm can be given as Gm is equal to id divided by VGS, the drain current divided by the gate to source voltage VGS, which will gives you the Gm transconductance, that is equal to 2 into Kn into VGSQ minus VTN. Just we have taken this VGS to the left hand side. Okay, so this Gm is equal to id divided by VGS is a very important equation. Okay, so this equation can be written as Gm is equal to 2 into Kn into VGSQ minus VTN. Here if you see, this is the transfer characteristics of the MOSFET. Here the transfer characteristics, in the sense we are going to relate the VGS and id. So VGS is the input voltage, gate to source voltage, and id is the drain current, and this is the threshold voltage VTN, which was mentioned here, and this one is the drain current versus gate to source voltage characteristics. So the slope of these characteristics is Gm. The slope of these characteristics is Gm, that is nothing but the transconductance. So that is a varying value. That's why we have taken dou id by dou VGS, that is equal to this entire term. So but the transconductance can also be obtained from the derivative Gm is equal to dou id by dou VGS at VGS is equal to VGSQ, which is a constant. Okay, we can also obtain this Gm value by taking a constant VGS. Okay, VGS is equal to VGSQ point, so that we can say, which is equal to 2 into Kn into VGSQ minus VTN. Therefore, we can write the above equation like Gm is equal to 2 into square root of Kn into IDQ, because we know that IDQ current equation is from the equation number 3, IDQ is equal to Kn into VGSQ minus VTN whole square. Okay, that is the value of the IDQ current. This Gm can be written as 2 into square root of Kn into IDQ current. Okay, we can say the transconductance is directly proportional to the conductance parameter Kn, which turns a function into width to length ratio. Okay, so which turns the above equation as width to length ratio W by L. Okay, now we are going to get the AC equivalent circuit for this CS amplifier circuit. So let us see, the output voltage of the circuit can be given as VDS, which is equal to V0. Okay, here the VDS is nothing but the V0, which is equal to the voltage VDD minus the drop in the resistance RD. Okay, actually when we apply the KVL at output side, applied voltage VDD is equal to the drops in this RD resistor plus VDS, that we already know. So when we rearrange that equation, then VDS will be equal to the applied DC voltage minus the drop in the resistor, which is ID into RD. Okay, so the total voltage minus these drops will gives you the output voltage VDS. So similarly, we know that the drain current ID is a function of DC component plus AC component. Therefore, the above equation can be written as V0 is equal to VDD minus this ID is written like DC component plus AC component into RD, separating the DC terms and AC terms. VDD minus IDQ into RD is the pure DC component term, and ID into capital RD is the AC term, because small id is the AC. Output voltage is also a combination of DC and AC values. Okay, when we apply DC and AC to the input, the output is also a combination of DC and AC. So let us see, the time varying output signal is the time varying drain to source voltage. So V0 is nothing but VDS, where V0 is equal to VDS, that is equal to minus ID into RD. So as I am assuming output voltage is a pure AC signal, which is a time varying signal, then output is also equal to this only minus ID RD term. This entire DC term is going to be 0. Okay, also we know that the drain current ID is equal to GM into VGS, because we know that the relation GM is equal to what? ID divided by VGS. So in the last we have derived this GM is equal to ID divided by VGS term. Okay, so we can get the AC equivalent circuit by setting all the DC components or DC sources to 0. The small signal relationship as given by the equations here, if you see, these equations are given in terms of the time varying signals as well as the phasor components. VGS is equal to VI and ID is equal to GM VGS and VDS is equal to minus ID RD in terms of that time varying signals and in terms of the phasor signals. So let us see, this is the AC equivalent circuit of the CS amplifier with a NMOS transistor. So here all DC sources are set to 0 and we have only AC components here. At the input side, VI is the only AC source and VGS is the gate to source voltage. This is also a pure AC source because the VI is nothing but VGS here. And we are developing the drain current ID, small ID, which is nothing but a GMVGS, that is a pure AC drain current, and the VDS drain to source voltage, which is a comparison of drain current ID into ID, because we are going to take it as a IL into ID. IL is equal to minus ID here, so that we can take it as minus ID into RD, that is nothing but VDS. Okay, similarly in the phasor terms we can represent like this: VGS is equal to VI and ID is equal to GM VGS and VDS is equal to ID minus ID into RD. So this is how we have to draw the AC equivalent circuit. Okay, so let us see the small signal equivalent circuit of the MOSFET. Okay, so from this AC equivalent circuit we are going to draw the small signal equivalent circuit of the MOSFET. Assume that the signal frequency is sufficiently low so that any capacitance at the gate terminal can be neglected. So we are assuming that signal frequency is sufficiently very low, so all capacitance can be neglected at the gate terminal, and the input to the gate thus appears as an open circuit or an infinite resistance. So that we can say, we already know the reactance of the capacitances are very high for low frequency signals like DC signals, as we are assuming the frequency is sufficiently low so that the gate to source capacitance, okay, the gate capacitance whatever we have, that offers very high reactance, so that can be replaced with the open circuit or infinite resistance. Okay, so we know that the transconductance GM is a function of a Q point, and the resulting simplified small signal equivalent circuit for the NMOS device can be given in the figure. Like for this CS configuration, this is the small signal equivalent circuit. So here these notations are given in instantaneous values as well as the phasor values. So at the input side, as we are assuming the input frequency is low, the gate terminal, the capacitance is neglected and the reactance is large, so it was represented with the open circuit here. So at the input side we don't have any component, only we have the voltage VGS, which is the voltage between the gate terminal to the source terminal. At the output side we have a dependent current source, that is a GM VGS, because VGS is the input voltage, the output current GM VGS is depending on the input voltage, so it is called the dependent current source, where GM is called as a transconductance and ID is the drain current. Okay, this is how we have to draw the small signal equivalent circuit. In the small signal equivalent circuit of the MOSFET, we have only one component actually, that is GMVGS. Okay, and input side is open circuit, output side is also open circuit. Okay, let us see the small signal equivalent circuit can also be expanded to take an account of the finite output resistance. Actually, here we assume that the output resistance is very large, which is an infinite output resistance, so that we haven't shown any of the components at the output side like resistors. But when we take the MOSFET has finite output resistance, then the result of the non-zero slope in ID versus VDS curve, the output characteristics curve will have the slope. That non-zero slope can be given as ID is equal to Kn into VGS minus VTN whole square into 1 plus lambda VDS, where lambda is a channel length modulation parameter and it is a positive quantity. Okay, so here ID is equal to Kn into VGS minus VTN whole square. To here, that is the value of ID. Actually, we have already seen that is getting multiplied with the value 1 plus lambda VDS, where lambda is called as a channel length modulation parameter, that is a positive quantity always. Okay, so that is getting multiplied with VDS. Okay, so the small signal output resistance is as previously defined. R naught is equal to what? Dou ID by dou VDS inverse. Actually, we have write ID by VDS is nothing but the output conductance. So as we require the resistance, okay, ID by VDS inverse we have taken. Okay, ID by VDS inverse means dou VDS by dou ID, that is nothing but the output resistance R naught. Okay, at VGS is equal to VGSQ, which is a constant voltage. Okay, so at this point of time, we are going to substitute the value of ID in this equation, so that we can get the output resistance R naught. So after doing the differentiation with respect to the VDS, so here Kn into VGS minus VTN whole square up to here is a constant in terms of the VDS, and this term 1 plus lambda VDS, 1 is a constant and the differentiation of this one is 0 plus lambda VDS. Okay, so as we are doing the differentiation in terms of the VDS, so VDS by VDS will give as 1. Okay, and then lambda we will have, that lambda will multiply this entire term. Okay, the differentiation output is this one, lambda into Kn into VGSQ minus VTN whole square inverse. As we already know, this Kn into VGSQ minus VTN whole square is called as IDQ current. Therefore, lambda IDQ inverse is the value of the output resistance R naught. Okay, so the small signal output resistance is also a function of Q point parameter. Therefore, we can say R naught is also a function of the Q point parameter IDQ. Okay, therefore, the small signal equivalent circuit, including that output resistance, can be given as actually we have mentioned R naught, that here mentioned as RD. Okay, the drain resistance, internal drain resistance RD. Okay, so this is a complete or expanded small signal equivalent circuit, including the output resistance for the NMOS transistor. Okay, for this CS configuration, this is the small signal equivalent circuit where VGS is the gate to source voltage. Okay, at the input side we don't have any component. Okay, so at the output side GMVGS one dependent current source, and in parallel with one output resistance RD, internal drain resistance RD. Okay, this is the equivalent circuit or small signal AC equivalent circuit of the MOSFET. In the next class onwards, we are going to see the amplifiers of the MOSFET like CS amplifier, CD amplifier and CG amplifier.